We're on West Bremer Radio. Let's cross down live to an Ipswich historian near you. Is there many?
Well, not as good as this one.
Exactly. His name's Harold the H. Peacock, and he's going to tell us about a World War II soldier that was forgotten about, and he has discovered him. And while we're at it, make sure you get on historyouthere.com and give us your version on live Facebook of a lady there this morning has got peacocks all running around her.
I know, she's gone above and beyond, hasn't she?
Unbelievable. So
she imported them from South Africa.
Well, she should have draped the body in peacock feathers.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
There's another good one to do.
So maybe I should try that.
Oh, my God, we haven't got enough peacocks. There'd be murder of every peacock in Australia. Have to go into Crumban Sanctuary. All right, now let's talk to Harold the H. You there, Mr. Peacock?
Yes, good morning, Danny. Yeah, today's story isn't about a soldier, but a whole family. It's a record that no one knew about.
Wow. Well, let's hear the story, because there are people with their ears pricked up like a racehorse on heat.
Yeah, well, it should be late way all week, because with Remembrance Day coming up this Friday, it's apt that I tell you about this discovery. Now, the Australian War Memorial didn't know about it.
Wow.
Neither did the Department of Veteran Affairs.
Wow.
Now, I've told you before about large groups of brothers from one family who enlisted for the two world wars. There were the 5 brothers from the Logan family of Forest Hill in the Lockyer Valley who enlisted for the First World War, although there have been numerous examples in Australia of up to 10 brothers enlisting. And as for the Second World War, researchers at the Australian War Memorial know of two instances of 6 brothers from one family enlisting. And then there were the 7 Hutchins brothers from near Swan Hill in Victoria. 4 of the 7 died as prisoners of the Japanese who were trying to escape. No other Australian family suffered from a greater life in World War II. But there's another family that equals that Australian record of 7 siblings who served in the war.
Who are they?
And until now, not even the Australian War Memorial knew about them. And I only found out thanks to our listener, Andrew Pritchard from Manly in Sydney. You see, Andrew's grandfather was Lieutenant Granville Pritchard, who served in the First World War.
Wow.
He was awarded the Military Cross following the Battle of Polygon Wood in 1917.
Wow.
But Granville gave even greater service when all 7 of his children enlisted for the Second World War. His first 2 children were twins. One was Private Norm Pritchard. Norm was serving with the 31st Infantry Battalion when he was shot and killed early in the Syrian campaign in the Middle East in 1941. The other twin was Lieutenant Granville Pritchard Jr. Granville served with the 3rd Anti-Tank Regiment in just about every Australian theatre of war, including North Africa, Palestine, Syria, Ceylon, Guinea, Tarakan, and Borneo. Then there was Lieutenant Keith Pritchard. Keith did his training right here at Redbank. He served with the 2nd Anti-Tank Regiment in New Guinea and was mentioned in dispatches. The 4th sibling of this record-breaking family was Private Jeff Pritchard. Jeff served briefly in Darwin, but was discharged after his brother was killed in Syria. That's because his father, Granville, had applied for him to work as an essential occupation worker instead of going to the front. And so he served the rest of the war as an aircraft and munitions worker.
Right.
Another sibling was Private Ray Pritchard. He served as a signalman in New Guinea. And there was a sister. Her name was Dorothy Pritchard. She served as an assistant writer in the Women's Royal Australian Navy Service.
Wow.
The RAD. But if you've been counting, Danny, you know there's one more sibling to make up the 7, and that's Lieutenant Dudley Pritchard. Now, Dudley served with the 3rd Light Anti-Aircraft Regiment in New Guinea and Borneo.
Wow.
He'd gone to school here in Brisbane and did architecture at the University of Sydney, where he was awarded the University Medal and graduated with first-class honours. Dudley joined the Colonial Service and was awarded a member of the Order of the British Empire, or an MBE, and that was for his design National Monument in Malaysia, and it's still there today. But a big reason for me telling this story today is to give a big shout-out to Dudley. You see, just last week, Dudley celebrated his 100th birthday.
Wow.
So, happy birthday to Dudley, and thank you to Dudley and his family for the service that they gave Australia. And that's a record equaling 7 family members all serving the Second World War. And, Danny, thanks to our listener, Dudley's son Andrew, for telling me about it. And
Wow.
I can tell you, the Australian War Memorial was very keen to get the information.
Is that a fact, mate? You've done that a couple of times now. And does Dudley, where does he live in Sydney, does he?
Yeah, that's right. He's there, and he celebrated his birthday just last week with with his family in small groups because he's in a home now. But he's very sharp.
And Andrew,
a super talented architect.
Andrew,
he's listening. Yeah, he's listening now.
Andrew, we should talk to your dad if he can hear us, and we should talk to him about his experiences. But gee whiz, what a great story, and that'll be on History Out There, won't it? .com.
That's right. First thing Sunday morning, the story goes straight up, and I'll have all the photos of all 7 family members and the grandfather, or Andrew's grandfather as well. That's tomorrow. But, Danny, we've got to thank our listeners, not just Andrew, because, like you said, those arc videos, our listeners are great. There's Helene, Jamie, Rowena, some real peacocks even sent in a video, and Craig the Muddy Creek Picker.
Come on. What about the Muddy Creek Picker? And look, let's get on to the arcing. Get on at historyouthere.com and hear your best arc. It's 8:22 on West Pomerania.